Hello, I'm Yen and welcome back to a series of Inspired by Motherhood. In today's episode, I have a guest that I've known since she was in her first pregnancy. And then we journeyed on to her second pregnancy where she joined me for an IG live chat Saturday night with Yen. And now in her third pregnancy last trimester, I'm so grateful to have her with us again. So let's give a warm welcome to Melissa Koh.
Thank you. Thank you for having me in.
Thank you for joining us despite your busy schedule and what's going on at your family and all. I'm really thankful to have you here.
Of course.
So usually for a start, we will begin with 5 words to describe each other's segment. So we warm up and let the audiences get to know us better.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you like to start first?
Okay. Actually, there's a lot of things to say about Yen because she's such a big person, big-hearted person. So I guess the first word I have is kind. She's very kind, very compassionate. She's always looking out for others, and that's something I really personally experienced all the way since the first time we encountered each other. The next word I have is genuine. She truly cares, and I think that's something that's so important because it really comes from the heart and it's really heartfelt. So thank you for everything. Actually, like since my first pregnancy all the way till now, I've always felt your presence, and I've always felt that you truly care about like everything that's going on in my life, aside from my personal matters to my pregnancy to what's to come, like my confinement and my breastfeeding. She wants to ensure that everything is properly taken care of.
Thank you for putting your trust in us. It's actually a blessing to us to be able to be here for you as well.
My next word is thoughtful. She's very thoughtful, from the simplest and the smallest of details to like the big things, like even the decor. Today she prepared bird's nest, is it? Or something, and then like the flowers that you've picked. She really cares about the details, and I think that's something really special. Next word is generous. Yen has always been very generous towards me, and I'm very thankful for that as well. And the last word I have is capable. She's a wonder woman. She is a mom, she's an entrepreneur, and there's so much like about her that I look up to.
Thank you, Melissa. I mean, I'm taking in all this, but you are also a very capable young lady that you have been inspiring me so much along the way as well. As often I see mothers journeying from first pregnancy and all, you also see how I journey on with growing my team and the businesses as well. So it's definitely both ways.
Yeah.
So 5 words to describe you, dear Melissa, is definitely as beautiful as the flowers, as sunny as the sunflower may bring. You always bring in that bright smile of yours and light up the room with her presence.
Thank you.
Yeah, and looking through your Instagram, you're such a fashionista, very chic, stylish is the word that I want to give you. You are a designer's dream. You can fit in any clothing and you do make them look really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. And despite all this, although you are very busy, you are still very involved mother, very nurturing mother. As often as I see in your pictures, you always bring the kids out, being with them as much as possible. And as I get to talk to her, to prepare for shoots, to have a chat about, she comes across to me as a very pragmatic person. Realistic, very sensible in planning your schedule, your day, and very clear-headed.
Oh, I try to be.
It is not easy to
Yeah.
do that, definitely. As much like you are sleep deprived, you have got children, you have got career, so to maintain at that level is definitely not easy. So later on we'll be learning more from her. And lastly, despite like small frame, petite size, she's a very strong woman. Seriously. Yeah, strong not only physically but mentally. I think that's very hard to achieve, to do that for us mothers when we have so much going on. Yeah, especially so when, you know, just a background, baby Asher, her second child, yeah, was born with a heart condition. So I remember in the early days when you notified me, because we have to arrange your scheduling of massages and so forth to postpone it.
Yes.
Probably then I got to know about Asher's condition. It is so worrying at that point of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and up to today, fast forward, he is still not feeling well. He caught a flu bug.
Yeah, a flu bug that became so serious. Yeah, so severe.
It's unimaginable. I mean, when I heard the news from her, I was telling Melissa to, like, you know, it's okay, we can do this another time, but you're wonderful. Like, she's committed to do this with us. She wants to show our support. And can you like help us, like teach us, or maybe the way that you shared with us then was like, how do you do this? Compartmentalization, or how do you segment things that you need to do while being able to manage this part?
Yeah, I think it's really compartmentalizing, because so Asher was born with a heart condition, and he had to go through 3 heart surgeries. Since the day he was born. Actually, on day 2 he went for his first one, and very unfortunately, actually for his kind of heart condition, right, like one surgery should fix it, and then, you know, he should grow, the heart should grow with him, but unfortunately for him, there was like some narrowing, and then they had to do it the second and the third time. But thankfully, after the third fix, everything was very smooth sailing. He was finally able to feed, gain weight, and grow like a normal child, until just like a month back, he caught a flu, and then it just became so severe. His lungs just couldn't handle, and basically it just became like severe pneumonia, and he's in quite critical condition like right now.
How are you?
I'm okay. There's a lot of things going on, and of course the biggest thing is Asher being unwell. That's like occupying the most headspace right now. I'm constantly worried about him, and it definitely hasn't been easy, especially since it has been ongoing for the last month already. It's been such a roller coaster, you know, every time he seems like he's getting a bit better, and then like he gets worse, and it's just so critical. So yeah, I guess it hasn't been easy overall, but I'm trying my best to compartmentalize, to, you know, focus on the different areas. I mean, there are so many different aspects of my life that require my full attention, right? Like my firstborn, my work, Asher, my pregnancy.
Yeah, currently.
So I really do my best to, as much as I can, convince myself that, you know, Asher is given the best care he can. He's in God's hands, and then, you know, separate myself from that emotional part, and then, you know, focus for like just a good maybe couple of hours at work.
Okay.
And then really just give my 100% there. And then later, you know, like switch channels again, and then go back to like, okay, now I'm picking my son, my firstborn, up from school, and, you know, he also wants all of me, so I'm going to give him my 100%. Yeah, so that's basically how I've been trying to function, so that I can still, you know, be largely functional.
Yes.
Yeah, as a human being.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
I mean, when I hear that, I already feel so saddened, upset and all. And with you being so thoughtful, you wouldn't want to affect Noah when you're with him, to show that sad face or sad emotions, or even with James or with your colleagues around you.
Yeah, actually it's not really about the emotions. It's more of just really telling myself that, you know, with whatever I'm doing at that point, I just give my all, and just really focus on that matter at hand. And of course, Asher is always on my mind, but I mean, I just pray for strength.
How is Noah?
Noah is the sweetest and the most thoughtful kid or person that I know. He's fully aware of everything that is going on, and yet he's been, very mature to handle it so well. He's, even taken initiative to like get everybody and be like, come, let's pray for Asher, or like tell me, okay, Mama, you can go and visit Asher. I'll play by myself at home. And he's just 3 going to 4 years old. I've been very appreciative of the fact that he's so thoughtful, and also for the village that I have, for my friends that babysit him on the weekends, just so that I can have some time off and I can just spend time with Asher in the hospital without feeling so much mom guilt that Noah is left alone. And also his classmates' parents who offer to pick him up from school so that he's not the last one left in school. And sometimes he tells me like, Mama, can you pick me up earlier? And I try my best to, but on some days, especially when Asher is unwell and when it's hard to plan. And then I have like his classmates' parents who offer to pick him up, bring him to the playground, and he's so happy. So I'm really, really grateful for all the support that I have. Yeah.
And is Noah also aware that you're currently expecting a 3rd child?
Yes, actually, Noah. Yeah, I think Noah. I was afraid he couldn't understand, but I mean, this is his 2nd sibling, and I think he's totally on it. From the time we told him, he seemed very excited. He definitely loves babies, and he's the sweetest like big brother to Asher as well. So I think he's really looking forward to having another baby at home. He's already like telling everybody how he's going to help change diapers, feed the baby, do all that stuff. So I think he's very psyched up for it. And he's very sweet. Once in a while he comes and he talks to the baby. Yeah, and he'll be like, Coco is here, when are you coming?
So sweet of him.
Yes.
So it's really a blessing to have him. He's the big brother.
Yes.
He will be helping you to take care of the younger little ones already.
Yes.
So we have spoken largely on Asher, Noah. Yeah, I want to talk about how is your pregnancy currently, and also the difference between the first pregnancy, second, and now.
Okay, I think in terms of like how I'm feeling during my pregnancy, I would say it's quite similar.
Is it because 3 boys or something?
Actually, right, I think the first trimester was hard. But because it's over and now that I'm in the 3rd, I kind of forget how hard it was, like how terrible I was feeling at some point, a bit nauseous, and then not having as much energy and being very tired, and especially car rides, like they really make me feel sick, and my appetite is just not like my usual. Like when I look at food, I don't look at it the same way. So I mean, that was all in the first trimester, but right now I'm feeling okay, except for the fact that it's like a bit heavy and then like a bit whale-ish, but largely still okay. I think I'm pretty blessed with a smooth sailing pregnancy for all 3. So not too bad. And I think the massages that I get weekly really help. I look forward to that like all the time, because I guess the most tired part of my body is my feet, because I'm always on the go and I'm always standing up. And then like in the 3rd trimester towards the end, especially the lower back. But otherwise I'm still pretty much functional. Like I'm still working, and for the 1st and 2nd as well, I worked all the way till my water bag burst. So I mean, physically I feel okay, and I try my best to eat well and to rest well. I mean, okay, I haven't been resting as much as I'd like, but I just try to do as well as I can in those 2 areas, so that I can grow the baby well.
Yeah, and it's important to take care of yourself, definitely. Yeah, and she, as I said, that she fills the room up with her bright, sunny disposition, full of energy. Yeah, that's important. And for your confinement-wise, because Asher has been in the hospital for that 1 month, previously you have shared with me that you only started your confinement on the 2nd month.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't feel like a confinement. Honestly, the first pregnancy, everything was as per usual. I came home with baby Noah, and then we had a whole month of confinement. I was eating well, I was learning the ropes of breastfeeding. I mean, it was definitely the most challenging, I would say, because it's my first time, and both the baby and I were like trying to get used to, to feeding, and I had like engorgement issues and all that. I mean, maybe I was feeding too well. I had so much milk. But the second one was very different. Second pregnancy with Asher, because he was in hospital for a good month before he finally came home, I decided to postpone the arrival of my nanny. Because actually the nanny, as much as it is for me, it was for him. So I didn't see a point of having the nanny around while the baby isn't around. So I postponed that part, and yeah, I really didn't feel much like a confinement. In fact, I delivered at 6:40 p.m. and I discharged the next morning, just because Asher was transferring hospitals for his surgery. So I didn't want to stay and not be with him. So I managed to get an early discharge, and then I was just, yeah, it was just a rocky month, but yeah.
But as Melissa, I'm aware that you eat very well, very healthily. And then you also started our confinement soup earlier. So that helps to nourish back your health as well.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and also, do you remember you texted me if you can eat prawns, seafood, and I said no shellfish.
Yes,
yes. For example, during confinement period, to avoid prawns, crabs, is because it's considered chilled, cold food.
Okay, yes.
And there's another phrase sometimes I'll use to, which I have learned from my colleague. She say that prawns are like cockroaches of the sea.
Oh yes.
They eat up all the dirty parts, and also it's best to avoid that during a confinement period.
Yeah. I mean, I think I just try and manage whatever I can within my means, and eating well is not exclusive to like being there for Asher. So while I was on the go and I couldn't really physically rest at home, I tried to make sure that my meals were at least like optimized.
Yeah.
So I mean, I had my herbal soups, and then I had my aunt actually came for the first part to cook for me, and I just tried to eat like as best as I could, so that I could have milk and be able to keep a stash and a supply for when Asher was ready to drink.
Oh, that was so hard then. You couldn't latch him, and then you had to rely on expressing your milk out.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that was
really
tough.
hard. Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah.
So to continue on to taking care of you, besides massages, the confinement soup, I prepared something especially for you. Okay.
Thank you.
Ta-da! Yeah, I have prepared this specially for you, using the herbs that are suitable for mothers who are currently pregnant. We call this the prepartum nourishing tea. We have got a soup, and this is a specially formulated tea version. Yeah, so in Chinese we call it 好孕怀孕养胎茶. So when mothers are pregnant, it's important to 养胎安胎as well. So have a try. See how you like it. I've used Chinese herbs such as red dates, huang qi to boost out your energy, and also
so
you
good.
smell. I'm glad you like it.
Oh wow.
So do you taste a bit of like the red bean kind of smell? So I've used this bean called rice bean. It looks exactly like red bean, red in color. The shape is slightly longish, but different benefits. So rice bean can help to remove water retention. Yeah, it's good for mothers who are currently pregnant.
Oh, it's so good.
So using Chinese herbs as a base, I've also cooked boiled bird's nest. So it has been cooked separately. I didn't mix it together because Chinese herbs may just disintegrate into the soup and all. So I cook it separately with the herbs and bird's nest. So once this is ready, I'll just add in the bird's nest. It becomes a drink like that.
Wow. So nice.
It's all sweetened from the red dates, from the honey dates, and the dried longan. So I didn't add any sugar.
Oh really?
I remember you have GD for the second pregnancy, right? How about this pregnancy?
Borderline, but not really. So I guess there are 3 different tests, right? Like 1 hour apart. First test is okay, second test is okay. Third one is like the level must be below 8.5, I think, and mine was 8.5.
Oh, so borderline.
In borderline, in a way, it's considered like GD, but then nothing to do lah. I didn't need to see dietitian or like control diet, or my gynae just said it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had taken it 5 minutes later, it would have been. Yeah.
So for mothers who have GD or concerned that their tea or dessert is too sweet, in this you can take out the honey date. Honey date is pretty sweet.
Okay.
That's what
But
it
it's so
sweetens
yummy.
this. I'm glad you like it. It's very warming, lovely kind of dessert. Yeah. Mel, turning back time, like 10 years ago, is this the kind of life that you have envisioned for yourself? Like becoming a mom of 3 soon?
To be honest, I don't really like set in my mind or plan like, okay, in 10 years it's gonna be like that, in 15 years it's gonna be like that. I'm quite go with the flow. But I guess I'm very happy where I am now. I love my children and my family, and I mean, if 10 years ago you show me a snippet of what is today, I would take it.
Yes, beautiful. Especially a very loving husband, your partner in work as well.
Yes, he's the best support and pillar.
Yes, I can see that. Yeah. And what advice would you give to your younger self then?
I think especially for my husband and I, if we were in that like dating phase, it would definitely to be to travel the world, to go, like live like I mean, I wouldn't call it YOLO lah, but like, just really do everything that we want to do, because once you have dependents, your priorities change, and now like the way we live our lives or the way we plan our days is very much dependent on the kids. They are like our priority.
I know, yeah.
And you always put them before yourself. So I guess maybe 10 years back, we if we want to go for like a crazy holiday, yeah, we would do it.
Yeah, so currently with a busy, hectic schedule, and also for all the working moms out there, any advice for them?
I guess the first thing is to not be too hard on yourself, to know that as long as you give your best, that is enough. Yeah, basically just enjoy motherhood and just live in every moment, because it's so precious, and once it passes, it won't come back. Like a newborn phase is just like the first 6 weeks.
Exactly.
So just treasure every moment and try not to get too caught up with doing things right. Yeah.
Very good advice. I also have one advice for you. How does me time look for you, and what do you do for that?
Actually, I'm quite simple. So me time, I appreciate me time like with just the little pockets of time I have in a day. I don't need to like do something really big for myself to consider that like, a pampering session or like a me time. Even just like a simple skincare routine at night or taking a long bath is something that even if it's just for 15 minutes, is something that I really enjoy. I take that time to decompress and just make the most out of whatever little pockets I have. Even in the day, even if I have like just 20 minutes in the car, I turn on my favorite playlist, or I can pray or do whatever that feels like will feed my soul. That to me is me time.
Fantastic. That works for me too. A long bath and some facial self-care regime. And lastly, I just want to ask you, what inspires you, Mel? What's your inspiration like?
I would say my kids are my inspiration. Noah is the kindest and the sweetest like kid. I never even imagined him to be. I don't even know how he's been so thoughtful and so kind. He really inspires me to, be my best. And Asher is such a strong boy. He's a fighter. He's such a warrior. And everybody says like, "Oh Mel, you're strong and everything," but truly my kids are stronger, and they give me like the most strength.